What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I got another great video for you guys today. So as you guys know, we're in the middle of a drum series. So far we have done kick drum, snare drum, and toms. Now what we're going to be doing is a hi-hat. And we're going to keep moving on down until we cover every single drum. So let's jump into Logic and mix a hi-hat today. Here we go. Okay guys, like I said, we're going to actually mix a hi-hat now today. So what we're going to do is jump into Logic Pro X here, and the first thing we're going to do is find our hi-hat. So we have it here, we're going to open up an Now let's take a listen to the hi-hat and see what it sounds like. Here we go. Okay, so it's pretty low actually, the hi-hat, and it's really not coming through on the EQ well because it's such a high frequency. So pretty much what we can actually do is use a high-pass filter to roll off all of that low end down there, because pretty much what that's doing is just cluttering up the mix. So let's do that. Okay, so I pretty much rolled that high pass filter all the way up to about 94 Hertz, almost to 100. So that's where we're going to leave our high pass filter. Okay, let's move on to the next frequency. Here we go. Okay guys, the next frequency on the hi-hat, what we want to do is I want to find the bell sound of the hi-hat. So we're going to actually look around 200 Hertz to see where we can find it. Let's do it. Okay, so the bell sound actually sounds a lot more worse than a bell. So it sounds a lot like chunky, a lot not good to me. So we're going to cut that out actually. So we're going to cut it out about -3 dB right there. Okay, so that's cut out about -3 dB. And the reason why I cut that out is because it just sounds chunky, it sounds muddy, and it's just not a good frequency. Pretty much the hi-hat, what we're going for is the hi-hat range lies around the high mids of the frequency range, because it's a high mid frequency, just like cymbals. So what we're pretty much doing is we're just cleaning out the low end now, and then we're going to move into the high end to boost it. So let's do that. Okay guys, so this is the last frequency we're going to take care of. Now what I want in this hi-hat is I want some sizzle back into the hi-hat, and I want some shine and some crisp to the hi-hat. So what we're going to do is add a high shelf in. Now the high shelf is going to allow the hi-hat to give a lot of sizzle, some crisp, some shininess to it, and just make it sound great. So let's boost a high shelf and see what we hear, okay? Okay, so right about there, I boosted it about 42,000 Hertz. Now, what that is doing is it's allowing the hi-hat to pop through more, and it's giving it crispness, it's giving it a lot more shine, it's giving it a lot more brightness. So it's brightening up your hi-hat. Now, the good thing about this frequency move is that if your hi-hat plays a lead role in your song, you're going to want to do this because you're going to want to hear the hi-hat in your mix. So if your hi-hat plays a lead role, like keeps the beat of your song, put the high shelf in your mix, because what's going to happen is it's going to allow it to come through your mix a lot more. Because if it's the lead role in your song, you're going to want to hear your hi-hat. Alright, so let's move on to the next plugin. Here we go. Okay guys, so the next plugin we're going to use is compression. So what we're going to do here in Logic is we're going to get out of our EQ here. We don't need it anymore. And we're going to add a compressor. Now, we're going to use the same compressor we've been using through this whole series. So what we're going to do is just even out the peaks of the sound waves with the compressor and maybe just boost it a little bit. So let's take a listen. So we're going to turn off the auto gain and the auto. And when I do compression, I like to look at the graph of it, because you can actually see the sound waves, the peaks, so that you know where you're actually, if your compressor's actually working. That's why I love this compressor actually. So let's play it and see what we can do here. Okay, so far what is happening is the hi-hat is sounding a lot more even. It sounds like every single hit that the hi-hat makes is an even amount of volume. So it sounds a lot better. And that's the key to compression, is so that every hit, the snare drum, the kick drum, the hi-hat, the toms, every single hit that you hit that drum, you want it to have the same amount of volume that you hear. So that's the key to making everything even, so that you get a nice even balance in your mix. Okay? So what we're going to do now is move on to the next plugin. Here we go. Alright guys, the next plugin we're going to use is some tape saturation. Now the tape saturation, what it's going to do is give the hi-hat a little boost so that we can get it to pop through more. So, but I didn't tell you guys on this video for you guys, we're actually not going to be using. Now I know that this series is called using 4 plugins to mix drums, but the thing is, just putting reverb on a hi-hat does not sound good to me, because it's already a high frequency. So why would I put a reverb on a hi-hat, you know? Because it's already a high frequency, so why would you? So what we're going to do is we're just going to use 3 plugins today. But you know what? That's okay, because we have plenty other stuff to use reverb on, right? So let's move in the tape saturation. Here we go. So the tape saturation we're going to be using is, like I used on the other videos, is the Klanghelm plugin, the one I use. So we're going to get into it right now. Here we go. Okay, so what I hear is when we using the tape saturation is I'm hearing it pop through the mix more, and the other thing I'm hearing is it actually opened up the hi-hat a lot more too. So it sounded a lot more bright. So pretty much all these plugins I used today, try them out. Let me know in the comments how they worked for you guys. Using these sorry about that guys, 3 plugins on a hi-hat is one of the best things. Alright, use the EQ, use the compression, use some tape saturation. And also, if you haven't seen my other videos on mixing drums, make sure you go check those out. They'll be in my playlist folder that is called Mixing Drums. I'm also going to move it into another folder called Drum Mixing Series. Okay? So, I hope you enjoyed this video today, and if you did, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. And if you guys haven't yet, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below, make it turn gray, turn on post notifications so that you guys are notified whenever I post a new video on Golden. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed that video today, and if you did, make sure you give it a big thumbs up, and make sure you have post notifications on so that you guys are notified whenever I post a new video on Golden Productions. You guys are awesome, keep making great music, and I will see you guys in the next video. See you guys then.